Molecular evolution. In this module, I will discuss about phylogenetic trees of hominoid primates. What is phylogenetic trees? Phylogenetic trees means the diagrammatic representation of evolutionary relationships among organisms is called phylogenetic trees or simply phylogenies, that is evolutionary relationships. Now, types of phylogenetic trees. There are two types of phylogenetic trees. One is unrooted tree, where in this figure we are showing there are four different species A, B, C, D. So, unrooted tree, phylogenetic tree, it shows only relationship. That is, here only relationship is shown, but where from it is originated, it has not been shown over here. On the other hand, in the rooted tree, here shows their derivation, that is, from which place they are originated, that is, A and D, they are originated from a common ancestor, and B and C are also originated from other ancestors. Now, how to establish evolutionary relationship? Now, there are several ways by which we can establish evolutionary relationships between different organisms. One of the important method is the comparison of DNA or protein sequences, of organisms, which provides a fair idea about degree of similarity and dissimilarity among organisms. On the other hand, descendants which are formed actually, they are classified on the basis of their relationship with ancestors. They may be either homologous or analogous. Homologous means which have got same ancestral sequence. This is called homologous ancestors. On the other hand, when there is a diverse ancestral sequence, in that case it is called analogous ancestors. Why mitochondrial DNA? Because we compare mitochondrial DNA to find out evolutionary relationships. But why? Answer is that mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome sequences have been popular to reconstruct the history of human evolution, because they are not prone to recombination and are inherited through maternal line, that is mitochondrial DNA, and paternal line, that is Y chromosome, respectively. So, for that reason, mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome sequences are used and very much popular to reconstruct history of human evolutions. Here we have shown in this figure one human mitochondrial DNA. Size is around 17 kb and it has got two, it is a circular and one light chain and one heavy chain is present. Now, methods for construction of phylogenetic trees. Aligning DNA protein sequences to allow comparison among them. Secondly, ascertaining the amount of similarity and difference between the two sequences. Third, grouping the sequences on the basis of similarity. Fourth, placing the sequences at the tips of the tree. Now, on the basis of this method, phylogenetic trees can be constructed and evolutionary relationships between the different species could be established. Now, comparison of mitochondrial DNA sequences in hominoid primates. So, we have to find out the evolutionary relationship between human, chimpanzee, gorilla, orangutan and gibbon. That is, what is their evolutionary relationships. Now, the mitochondrial DNA of each of these hominoid primate is circular molecule of 6,600 base pair. An 896 base pair segment was cloned and sequenced from each of them. On the basis of this, we have constructed phylogenetic tree has been constructed by comparing the mitochondrial sequences. Now, tree A in this figure we have shown, which is based on findings of 145 mutations, and here in this figure we find that chimpanzee and gorilla are closely related, then human, orangutan and gibbon. That is, chimpanzee and gorilla are very much closely related, than your human, less related to human, then least related to orangutan and gibbon. On the other hand, in tree B, which is based on 147 mutation, here we find that human and chimpanzee are very much closely related with each other. Then gorilla, then they are further distant from orangutan and then gibbon. In the last tree, that is tree C, it is based on 148 mutations. Here we find that is human and gorilla are closely related, then chimpanzee, orangutan and gibbon. Now, on the comparing these three trees, that is tree A, tree B and tree C, we can conclude that is trees A, B and C, which were constructed on the basis of mutational event 145, 147 and 148 respectively. Of these three possibilities, the tree B is supported by other types of DNA sequences. That is, human is closely related to chimpanzee. So, this tree, that is phylogenetic tree B, where it has been shown on the basis of mitochondrial DNA sequences, that is chimpanzee and human are very much closely related than gorilla, orangutan and gibbon, and which has been supported by other sequences too. So, of these three sequences, we can conclude that humans are more closely related to chimpanzees than to gorilla and orangutan. That is, tree B is the acceptable phylogenetic tree. In this module, we have provided key concepts of the module, quizzes, suggested books for reading and study materials. We hope you have enjoyed this lecture and thank you for attending our online course. Even if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.